Gianta in overtime?
Well, when it started, I actually came out and was playing it as if Moan would have a breakaway, because that's what it looked like, right off the start. And then I realized my D was going to get back and make it a 2-on-1, and I was out pretty far, so I had to make sure I started to get my backwards momentum going so that I could play both the shot and the pass, and I was just barely had enough speed to be able to make that push over, on the pass. And I was just fortunate enough to get a leg out and cover that part of the net.
It seems like you and Kerry were just dueling it tonight.
Yeah, that was Kerry. Played a very good game. He made some really good saves, and my job, like I've said it before, I'm not really playing against Kerry, so to speak, but tonight I was in a game in a way just because whenever he made saves, I had to make sure that I made the saves because it was such a tight game.
Tim, so many people were talking about some of the younger guys before the start of this series, Horton being one of them, never played in the playoffs, and he scores the biggest goal I'm sure of his career.
Yeah, that was a huge goal for Horty, and it's well deserved. It couldn't happen to a nicer guy, and that was huge for the team and huge for him.
Can you describe the feeling of what it's like to play in a next goal wins game?
Well, it's the second in a row, right? And but the first one was over fairly quick. I guess I kind of originally thought that might be the way it worked out tonight, because we went out and we started getting chances right away at the beginning of overtime. But Kerry made some big saves, and then it turned more back into a normal game with chances going both ways. And then it was a matter of not giving up and just staying with it and waiting for our opportunities, and hopefully one of the opportunities goes in, and that's what happens.
Did you keep a list in your head? Did you keep a list in your head of how it saves? And if so, is this on the list?
I don't know.
No, I mean, I don't have a list like that. I do have, a couple that stick out from the past and stuff. And, I'm sure I haven't had much time to think about it.
Would this be in that company?
Well, yeah, I probably, because it ended up being such an important save, and I'll have to watch it to get a better picture of exactly what happened. Because it was the second overtime, and things happened fast, and I was just playing goalie.
Were you trying to make sure to drink a lot of water or whatever?
Yeah, and then trying to get the electrolytes in. To be quite honest, my legs started not completely cramping, just a very cramped just a little bit in the first overtime. So I realized that in between intermissions, between the first and second one, no coffee this time, and I drank the water with the electrolytes in it.
Michael Ryder did a huge save. Like, I know
yes,
he's playing hockey ball as a goldtender in the summertime.
That was awesome, and I was actually turning around and got to watch it pretty good. That was a huge save, and in this type of game, that it's a game breaker, a game saver.
Games like that fun for you? Maybe not.
Well, in a way, like when you're competing, it is. As the further it goes on, you just want to win so bad that. It was fun, but I wouldn't mind if we won in regulation or the first overtime. Let's put it that way.
Is it nerve-wracking, Tim? Does it get to a point where it's...
Well, not as much tonight, maybe because it was the second one in a row, so you get used to it, but it's overtime, everyth's on the line, and it's hockey, and sometimes you're going to get scored on when there's nothing you can do, and I was just trying, to do as much as I could to make that not happen.
You talked about the electrolytes. What's your coffee regimen usually between periods?
Oh, just a little bit. Like, I've always drank coffee. It's just a custom.
Between every period?
Yeah.
Not between second and third, not between the first period and second overtime?
No, between the first and second overtime, I skipped it today because things were going so long, and I felt like I needed other fluids.
Thursday night took 2 years off of that. How many took up tonight?
Might have added a year back actually, because a winning 2 in a row, you know, it gives you that extra little bump. You know, in the second overtime before we scored, I was probably -4, but then when we scored, it was +3, so now I'm just -1 overall.
Everyone talks about goalies stealing a game. Do you kind of feel like you stole this one for your guys, given all the saves you had to make?
No, because it was a team effort. I mean, Ryder made a save with an open net. Zdeno made a save with an open net. You know, it's everybody together. You know, and you know, Carey. If Bounce would went the other way, you'd be saying Carey Price stole the game right now. But that's not necessarily completely the case. I just did